Good afternoon. Hi, I want to show you a different picture of Scrum than you normally have, what I call the fuller picture of Scrum. As you know, there are many pictures of Scrum out there. Let's start to show ours, and you can see how it's different than others. You'll know the others. You'll be able to compare them. I like to start with the customer first. Let's do a different color. So we put the customer in the picture, we put the business side in the picture. We like to think of those as represented by four people. We call these people the business stakeholders. So they represent the customer and the business side, as does, well, there's the team, but as does the product owner. The product owner also represents the customer and the business side, and the business direction of things. Another way of thinking about this is we have an overall vision. So that star, that North Star, you might think of it as, represents the vision of what we're trying to accomplish at the current time for the business and for the customers. In addition, we have the product itself. But in relation to the product, we have the product backlog, where we have items in priority order. And the small ones at the top of the list are, so to speak, fed into the circle. And they come out of the team as the product itself, or at least perhaps over several sprints, it comes out as the product itself. We've also, on the team, in addition to the product owner, have the Scrum Master, have the other implementers, the other team members, and they're in a tight circle. They work together, they consider themselves part of the same, you might call it organism, certainly the same team, as we often call it. And they have a real team spirit, a real will to accomplish the vision, to serve the customers, to accomplish the business goals on behalf of the business, using, of course, as we've indicated, the product backlog. But the key difference that I'm going to suggest that others don't have is putting the chickens in the picture. So I like to think of the chickens as being the additional, sometimes by Jeff Sullivan called the extended team members. They're not part of the core team, but they're part of the extended team. I like to think of the chickens on the side. They provide key skills, key things of some sort or another that the team needs to have in order to be successful. And to me, it's quite essential to put them in the picture. They can provide many things. They can provide advice. They can work with us. They can do work for us. They can provide a widget that we insert inside the product. And these can be different kinds of people. They can be a singular person, one person. They could be, the circle could represent a department that's going to support us in some way. A circle could represent another team, another Scrum team. A circle could represent possibly a vendor. So we put these folks, these other chickens, in some sort of priority order from our point of view in terms of their impact on us. Now, the problem with chickens is that their thing isn't our thing. That is to say, what's number one for them, and for all those who work with them and manage them, what's number one for them is not what's number one for us. What's number one for us is having a successful product and achieving our vision, and serving our customers. What's in a specific way. What's number one for them could be something quite different. They're happy to help us. It may even be part of their job to help us to some degree or another, but they're often quite distracted with other things to do. So we have to find a particular person. Say this is George. This is Amit. Amit knows George. So Amit, we need to understand as a team, and the Scrum Master needs to get this organized, we need to understand as a team who is going to work with George to make sure that George performs on time, high quality, what we want, and as we said before, when we want it. So because George and Amit know each other, and they've worked with each other in the past, their relationship presumably is pretty good, then we say, okay, Amit, watch out, keep track of George, be in touch with him, and advise the team if you see those deliverables by George, whatever they may be, being in jeopardy. Anyway, I think I want to finish with the fuller picture. You get the basic idea that we've got to include the chickens in the picture. Therefore, by naming names and seeing them as a team, we as a team can manage them more effectively and therefore be more effective as a team in playing Scrum. Thanks very much. This is all I wanted to say for today.